Hi. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hey.
Hello.
Good morning.
Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We'll just wait a while everyone joins.
Everyone's got their cup of tea.
Yeah.
Tea.
No such thing as early mornings these days.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi. Oh, this is very sweet. Good morning.
How are you?
Very good. Yeah. Oh, this is lovely. Well, maybe we'll just start with a quiet moment to see if any others do join us. I had several more requests, but we'll just wait and see. All right, well, I think what we'll do is we'll get started and I'll mute everyone so that you can have your cup of tea, move your computer around if you need to, and we won't all hear it so that you can relax at home. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I'd really just like to say thanks for coming. I very much honour that you're here with me and that we can join together. It feels very important to do it right now, to come together this way. So what I wanted to start with was, and you may have seen it already, but the meaning of corona that really called to me was in a total eclipse, it's the light that we see around the moon. So that for me, it was a symbol. And there are other meanings. It means crown, but representing the light was what really called to me, that even in the total darkness, the light never disappears. It is always there, and it's always present because it is what we are in truth. It's that total darkness, the light is reflected around it, and it's always there and available. And so when we focus on that light, the dark disappears. And just to hold in mind, at this point in time, one of the lessons in the Course is miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. And so when we go to that place within ourselves, and we take that opportunity to really use this opportunity that we have to sink and to call forth deep within that light that we truly are, then that's where we find our strength. It's not outside of us. It's not somewhere else. It's always calling forth that strength within. So, and as we go through these times where we seem to have been requested to go into Hermitage, let's take the opportunity and really pull on that, really take that opportunity to take the quiet times, to go within and breathe. Just take that pause. Now, I think that we may just have a little bit of a wobble here and there. I know that the internet can be a little bit unstable right now, but we'll just bear with it. So, because I've had self-elected Hermitage, I haven't been told to go into Hermitage or lockdown before. It's always been self-elected. What I found helpful was that I had a purpose. And the purpose, often I would set that out at the beginning, right up front. And one of the deepest and most revealing hermitages I had, which was a month long, I started with a question: can I really stay with myself? Can I be here? And it was a question because I was a runner. I would leave in my mind as well as physically situations. And so I wanted to know, can I really do this? Is this even possible for me? And if it is, how is it possible? And so starting with that and then putting it to one side actually really was helpful. And I journaled all the way through that hermitage every day. The practices that I had, the insights that came, the movies that I watched, they didn't seem to be relevant to the question, but nevertheless, I wrote it down. I actually really made an effort to be very focused. And what helped was structure, because I found that having a structure for the day, even if it was just meal times and my lesson in the morning, it gave me something to hang the time on, to actually have those times in between, with which I could focus and do something. And so I would paint, I would actually listen to music, I'd pray and meditate, but it's not a time where, and this is what I found, I couldn't meditate the whole time. It's not possible. It just wasn't in me to do that. And so focusing was the meditation. Actually focusing on what I was doing in the moment became the meditation. And of course I did have quiet times. So if that's helpful, in this moment, how are we going to use it? What is the purpose for you? What is it how do you want to use it? And if you are living with family members, if you're not alone, I would say that it's really helpful that you all sit down together and express what it is that you would really like to come out of this time, and to listen to each other, really hear what you're saying to each other. What is it? Because everyone's purpose won't be the same, but where is the common ground? What is it that you all want together? and what is it that you can come together on. And then when you come together in those times, there's a ground, there's this platform that you can have together of shared agreements. And those agreements, when you're living together, as things start to rock, and they will, you know, the longer that we're in each other's company, the longer that we're cloistered together, the more the projection comes up, the more that that all those thoughts that we don't want all start to come unbidden. And so we need some shared agreements that we can come back to as a baseline. And that, just living in community, gave me that skill to actually say, hey, we're off track here. What did we all agree together? Let's come back again to our purpose, our shared purpose. And then you can actually take time apart and go, if your place is big enough, you can actually take time doing your own thing and taking your own quiet time, or being busy in whatever it is you do. You know, maybe it's clearing out the pantry, or putting all the family photos in an album, or whatever it might be that's always been pulling your mind back. You know, maybe it's a time to do that. All these things that we mean to do, they're the things that distract us. They occupy our minds and they pull us away from the present moment. So why not tackle it now? Why not do it? You know, tidy the garden shed, get rid of whatever it is that needs clearing out. Knit that jacket, whatever it might be. Yeah. So I think finding what's in common with the people you live with is really important. And having those shared agreements and having a structure for the day. Maybe what you start off with is your lesson, your journaling, journal in the evening. What is it that you've been doing? What do you have in your toolbox? What is it that inspires you? Is it music? Is it painting? Is it your art? Is it alone time or walking, exercise? Whatever it is, make a list of those things. Make a toolbox for yourself. But really important, don't drift. You know, don't get onto Facebook first thing in the morning when you get up, and don't do it at night. They're times not to be occupied with starting to get distracted. Social media is meant to be addictive, and it can be. So once you start, it can be very helpful to put a time limit on that, even for yourself. You'll know what it is that you use as a distraction. And that's okay. It's okay to be distracted as long as you recognize what you're doing, because then you'll know how that feels. Watch always, how do I feel? How do I feel? What's going on? What is it for me when I do this? When I take my walk, when I prepare the meal, when I scroll through Facebook? What is it that's happening in my mind? How do I feel? And that feeling will lead you to what inspires you. Because no, we don't, I mean, it's not possible. I don't feel to actually be constantly even in anything that we do. We always feel something. And it's important that we recognize that. What is it that I'm feeling here? So there's the practical stuff that I found really, really helpful, just to give this time structure, and really not to feel that it's forced on us, that we've actually elected to live this way. We've actually elected this time as an opportunity. And I think in some ways, on a universal level, there must have been a big prayer that went out that said, stop, stop. And it may look as though it's a world pandemic that's happening, but what if it's the answer to that prayer? You know, it feels as though everything has taken just a huge sigh of relief. There's quiet, there's clarity, there's beauty and shining and everything right now, because we can be so still and take our time to actually look and be here. And I think this is the gift. We're being offered a gift, I feel, in answer to that prayer. Please stop. This is too much. This is going too fast. This is going in the wrong direction. And I feel that, you know, being caught in that gave rise to a huge call to the Spirit. And now it looks as though, all right, we can do that. We can now be still. We can now be here and be together in the prayer, in the light that's truly the strength. So what happens in Hermitage? Well, the first few days aren't too bad because you're settling in. You know, you're thinking, oh, this is quite nice. I'm enjoying this time and this peace and the spaciousness. And then the mind starts to go into gear again. And so what seems to happen is that thoughts start crowding in. And it can be, in these times, I think probably anxiety, fear, and then that gets projected out. It gets projected out onto those we're with. If we're living alone, it can be projected onto our pets or onto the ants in the cupboard, the fly on the wall. It won't matter what's there. It'll be there to actually land your thoughts on. And because we're held together with family members who are our greatest teachers, often in these circumstances, with partners, children, whatever it might be, the projection's going to go onto them. It's because you're doing something that I don't feel at peace. It's because you're not behaving the way I want you to, that I can't get on with what I want to do with this time. You know, all those thoughts. And it's important to recognize them. This is a time when we'll start to recognize just how far we are along on our spiritual path. After all, what is spiritual? You know, it's something different for everyone. And I think if we can recognize that, there isn't one way to be spiritual, to look spiritual, and that mask is going to fall. You know, while we're busy and distracted and we're interacting with different people, we can keep putting on this mask. The Course calls it the face of innocence. And we can keep doing that. But once we're held together in a community, even if it's just your community of one, you will start to see the reality of what's not healed. And it's a massive opportunity. What a gift that is. You know, don't suppress it. Don't try and gloss over it to try and be spiritual or whatever you think spiritual is, because that's not a gift to yourself. Be real. Be here. Be now. And watch what those thoughts are. You know, what is it that's arising for me? Yeah, I'm angry, but it's not because of whatever I'm projecting it onto. It's just anger. And I can accept that and embrace it and say, yeah, okay, there's still anger there. I don't need to do anything with it. I don't need to fix it because actually I can't. That's trying to fix the problem at the level of the problem. It's the ego trying to correct itself, and that will never work. All we can do is say, all right, I feel anger, I feel grief, I feel whatever it might be that's arising, resentment, hatred, the most intense emotions that we have. Let's acknowledge them, not push them away, not try and suppress them anymore. Be real about it and just let them be. And the best we can say, okay, I recognize I still am jealous. I still am angry. I still do feel hurt. And let that be and ask, pray for help with it. What is this for me? Help me with this. And as you start to journal, and the movies that you choose to watch, when you go within and ask to be guided, then all the right answers will come. And that's what I found in this hermitage that I started to talk about. As I wrote my journal, I put it away for quite some time after the hermitage. But later, when I looked at it, what I could see was that my question and the answers that I was looking for were answered in many different ways. It was like a diamond, and each face shone differently, and each one was answered. So that it's almost like the course, like we have a question and he comes at it from different directions. So that if we're going through the course and we don't understand some of it, then it's okay. It's going to be answered in a different way, or it's going to be given in a different way in another time, another passage. And that's what I could see in this journal. It was that very same patterning, that very same framework. And I could see that, as a whole, this answered everything I needed to know, what it was for me during that time. It was quite profound, and it really was the most amazing hermitage that I had. And there was a lot of rocking and rolling in my mind. It certainly wasn't all peace and joy, but there were times of that, in deep, deep knowingness, in answers that came. And then as they were all put together bit by bit, I could see that the whole was there over that period of time. So if that appeals to you, it's a really, really helpful tool. Again, journaling and even getting those emotions out to actually express them on paper if there's no one that you can join with. But if there is someone you can join with who can truly hold a space for you without coming in with any fixing, without any suggestions, who doesn't fill the space, who actually holds what you're saying and who you are in the light and in a light of non-judgment, not taking any of it personally. And that's the art, really. When we actually come together and we have someone who can just listen, and we know that they're not judging, then we can spill everything that feels as though it's overwhelming. And nobody needs to do any fixing, least of all ourselves. We don't need to fix any of it. We just need to watch it, and without guilt, because it's not who we truly are. Though that feeling of miracles are seen in light. Whatever that light is to you, it might be the Holy Spirit, it might be angels, you know, who knows what that looks like for each of us. But as we call to that, as we join in that together, then we're actually joining in the one place where we can truly connect in that strength of the light. And that's where we can go together. It's where we can actually call to the deepest place within us. So as we reach out to each other, and it's important that we do, then pause first. Okay, I'm making this call. I'm reaching out. I want true connection. I really do want this to be purposeful. So pause and ask, before I make this call, or before I actually say what I need to say, what is it for? Always, what is it for? And just ask the question first. And then if you find, well, it's just a vent, is this the right place to do it? Or is it because I'm bored? If it is, that's fine, but acknowledge it. Be truthful. Be honest. And I think this is a time to be so honest with ourselves. And when we are, true healing happens, but we have to expose what's not true to actually be able to give it over. And when you take that pause, breathe. Just breathe and pray. If we're truly honest with ourselves, this time, even when we go down, it won't flatten us. We won't absolutely bottom out. I feel in some ways that's what's happened. We have bottomed out. We have hit rock bottom because that call for something else, that call to stop, came from there. And the answer has been given on a universal level. It's been given in that oneness that we can all embrace. So I think I've probably answered most of the questions that came in. What I can do is, if there are any questions, and I think we've only got about 5 minutes left, let me see, or maybe a minute. If Zoom goes off now, let me just say, I love you and thank you. But if anybody does want to ask any questions right now, can you put your hand up? I think you click on the screen somewhere and put your hand up to ask a question, and then I can unmute you. No questions. Diana? No, let me see. Right, do you have a question, Diana?
No, it's not a question really. I just want to say I love you all so much right now, and I'm so happy to be here in this space. And it just feels so special that we can come together like this as one, even though we're isolated in our houses, in our spaces. It just feels great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I've unmuted everyone, so if we just want to share. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed how the air is so clear. You know, it just feels like Mother Earth is healing. The birds are singing in the morning. There's no cars going by. It's fabulous. There's families walking together. It just feels like, as you say, it's a fantastic gift to just be able to be still and be.
Yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? I looked out from the beach yesterday, and just the distance that I seem to be able to see, it's huge. Just never ending light, everything sparkling. Yeah.
It might
Jackie,
be
I
quite nice. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Miranda.
Oh. Sorry, I was just going to say it might be quite nice if we can meet again in a week. I'm not sure if that's possible, but you know, to recap, I as you say, Jackie, I'm finding this time really precious,
Right.
enjoying the quiet and I'm aware that the challenges probably lie ahead, the internal challenges. So it'll be it'd be nice to check in maybe, or if anybody wants to check in with me, please do.
Right. I'm very happy to do 9:30 every Saturday if that's what everybody wants.
Yes.
Right.
Would be yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
We make it 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock's better. Okay.
Okay.
You got it. Oh, lovely. That's beautiful. And maybe, you know, as things move along, it could be that a lot of stuff's arising, and this could be a place where we can have an expression session for those where it's not appropriate in your own house to say those things. We can share it here and hold the space for each other. That is certainly something that's available to us. We can trust.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
I love you. I just love you.
Love you too.
I love you too, Jackie.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next Saturday at 10.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Dog.
Huh?
Have you got your doggy?
She's tearing up a paper bag at the moment. Actually, stop that.
Yeah. And actually, the other thing I would like to say is that everyone in your vicinity, even your dog, it's an aspect of your mind.
Yes,
Take it back.
yes.
I know that it's you. Oh, look at that. Look at the ears.
Oh my God.
That's enough of the dog now. That's enough of that aspect of my mind.
No, we have to embrace our instinctive self. Yay.
All right, it looks as though we have to go.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you, Jackie.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jackie.